What's going on, YouTube? Marvelous. I want to give my opinion on a particular subject today. I want to talk about relationships, more specifically, relationship between man and woman. Because I'm watching some content, and it was very interesting to hear both sides speak on terms of what they believe the breakdown of a relationship could be. Of course, you guys already know what I'm going to say. When it comes to terms of breakdown relationship, I always believe that when individuals tend to be selfish, that's going to end up corroding a relationship on any scale in between any persons. So, but their take on a relationship in terms of like structure and roles and things like that was very interesting. I want to talk about the things I've heard from women, more specifically feminist women from the West, and how they believe a relationship should be structured. And then I'm gonna give my 2 cents on what it actually is, because I believe that what they have in mind is more of a concept. It's something that's not necessarily natural, but something that is trying to be forced in some ways. That is, it's not working because it goes against what's natural. You know what I'm saying? It's weird. So even when the words they use to describe themselves most of the time, anytime I usually hear about a woman and they want to talk about themselves, the first thing they say is, "I'm independent," and I don't understand how one could want a committed relationship long-term wise, but yet you're saying you can take care of yourself and do everything on your own, your free will, under no person's authority, and you're self-sufficient. So what do you really want? You know what I'm saying? Because I'll tell you right now, it's I don't think women in that mindset understand that, first off, the way men and women love is different, and because of that difference alone, it's going to have a natural effect. All right, so let's just entertain this for a moment. So you want to be independent and you want to have a partner. Okay, I don't, again, personally see it going far, but they believe that they can go both ways with it. They can be hand in hand, decide together on things, or he decides or I decide. And look, I'm gonna give you an analogy of what you guys are doing, because you guys are both not on board with each other at all. You guys are just basically in sync with one another. You guys are going in the same direction, but you're not necessarily on board with one or another. You pretty much enjoying each other's company for the time being. You guys are actually just friends for the most part. It's how I'm looking at the structure of how, when someone defines their relationship in such a manner, and you say your partners and like that, I'm starting to see that more of a friendship, more so than a bond or a marriage that would be more permanent. That's what I'm saying. Like, personally, that's why I think divorces are happening. Also, not because of selfish behavior, but just because the mindset you have going in. You say that you're independent, and then you contradict yourself by getting into a relationship. Because the only thing that's going to turn out, the only thing that's going to take for that relationship to fall is one person wanting to go one direction, another person wants to go another. And you guys haven't been on board with enough. You guys have not been on board with each other since day one. You guys just so happen to be going in the same direction, and then one day someone says, "I want to do this," and you're looking like, I'm going to continue going this way. All right, well, it was nice knowing you. Bye. So that's how I'm seeing these relationships as they are playing out. When it comes to how I'm starting to understand how these feminists are really seeing a relationship, they really, really, really don't like the thought of being controlled. But that's the thing. Like, in a relationship, because I'm married myself personally, I don't control my wife, but I'm still the head of my wife, period. That's without debate. But I'm not in control of it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not telling her what to do. She would tell you herself that for the most part, I just lead. I take care of things. I do what's best for my family. I'm accountable and responsible for everything that happens in this household. That's me. I'm the leader. All right. I'm accountable. I'm responsible. Anytime my wife's in danger or in trouble, I'm there to help pick it up. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just my role. I don't want to say that's just my role because technically it's not just a role. Like women may see that as a role, but it's not a role. It's just something that's inherently in me. And the reason why it's inherently in me is because my mother gave it to me. All right. This is where I'm going to get to, right? When it comes to relationships, women got to understand the way that a man loves you, you can never love him in that same way. That is why naturally you guys will start to do things. All right. The reason why you're with him is not the reasons why he's with you. All right. We have our own specific reasons to why we end up falling for the person that we fall for. All right. So the love I have for my wife is the same love I got from my mother. All right. My wife could never give me that same love. It'll never happen. Never. All right. And that is why we end up going through certain motions in certain ways in our relationship. You guys call it roles, and it's really not a role, it's just conditioning. I was conditioned to be this way because of my mother. All right. And women are never going to have that for the man that they inspire towards. At the end of the day, I'm gonna let you know right now, if you're a man in a relationship, if your woman does not find you inspirational, she's not going to stay around long. That's just what it is. For what she is for you is not the same thing that she is vice versa. So basically, women are going to find their man inspirational, and men are 9 times out of 10 going to find their women motivational. They're going to feel like they have purpose. It's their drive. They want to do for you in ways that they don't necessarily want to receive in the same way. At least they shouldn't think that way, because then that man's kind of backwards in the way he's thinking. He can never receive what he's giving to the wife. It's just again, because she's not going to love you the same way your mother loves you. So that's why that's going to end up being that way. And some guys end up falling short, not realizing that until it's too late. But again, I'm really trying to stick to this feminist mindset and tell you, like, you know, this whole idea of being independent, want to have a partner, and that's my best friend. Like, that's in terms of a marriage and long commitment, it's not to say that it won't work. It's just that it only takes one person to change up things. And if you're not on board, because you're really not on board with each other in the first place, you guys are just two independent parties who are just so happen to go in the same direction. You guys are friends. You guys are not husband and wife, in my opinion, because husband and wife is a different, in my opinion, it's a different relationship. I don't treat my friends the same way I would treat my wife. It's not even close. Priorities and all that stuff, it's not even close. Who I am to them and who I am to my wife, not even close. So that's why I would never affiliate the word friend at all with who my wife is. How I would describe that with, like, no, that's no. My wife has friends. You know what I'm saying? I have friends. You know what I'm saying? But she is not that to me. We're way beyond that stage. It's just, to me, like I said, like, listen to this woman speak and explain, like, and the thing was, she actually had this. I'll probably show the clip, but this woman, she's been through a couple of opportunities where she's been proposed to at least 9 times. She was married twice out of those 9 proposals, and she did have a son who's 2 years old now. But she isn't married now. She's still single, and she's a dating coach, teaching other women how to get with men. That whole video, I'm gonna tell you, I might have to share a clip. That whole video was such a big contradiction. It's like, who are you to tell us how to get a man, but you can't even keep a man? That's the first thing I would say. Is like, how you want to tell us to get rich, but you ain't got no money in the bank? You know, it's just, I don't know, man. Like, it's not to say that they don't, like, a person in that situation, you know, who's not in a relationship can't give good advice. They can, but it's like you're not even practicing what you're preaching, and then you don't even realize she has a problem with admitting to her own flaws. Everything for her is external. She hasn't dealt with herself eternally. It may seem like everyone else is the problem, and that there's nothing wrong with you because you love who you are. At least you claim to say you love who you are, but then I think you start to deny certain things within yourself when you can't take accountability, when you can't look in the mirror and say that, okay, maybe I can work on this. I mean, to be fair to her, all right, maybe she doesn't want to omit these things publicly to anyone else, and maybe she is omitting these things to herself internally as she's having this conversation. Maybe she can work on it later, but it's just not a good look. And for us, the viewers, to perceive you basically as a narcissist, and that you are pretty patty, pretty much perfect, and you do nothing wrong apparently. And again, you've been proposed to 9 times, and then you tell us later on that for the most part you don't like to basically cooperate. Like, you don't like to, you said you're strong-minded, you know, like you have your own thoughts and things that you want to do for yourself. Now, right there, I told you guys before at the very beginning that I said relationships always crumble because someone wants to be selfish. You see, she has this I, me mentality. There's no I in team. You know what I'm saying? And I don't get, like, how I don't know, man. It's like I said, you want to be independent and yet you want to be in a relationship at the same time. I don't see how that's possible. I mean, I see how it can be practiced, but I don't see how it could be somewhat an alternative successor for what we got going on right now. It's not better. It's worse. Like 1,000% worse. Like, I don't see how you could say that your alternative lifestyle is better than what we've been doing for thousands of years. It just blows my mind. I don't know. It's just, honestly, I think it's just more of a feeling. You know, this particular woman, she expressed it many times about emotions and feelings, and men should communicate more and express their feelings and stuff like that. Feelings are fickle. Feelings like to change a lot. I'd say right now, feelings could be irrational at times too. So I don't think men need to be more irrational, in my opinion. And I'm not saying women are irrational. I'm not saying like a man-woman thing. I'm just saying the whole emotional aspect in general. I don't want to necessarily be someone who is irrational at times, because it would show, for me, it would be like I'll be incompetent at times. I would be someone who was indecisive and kind of not knowing what I really want. I don't want to be in that type of space and frame. I kind of want to deal with things that I know. My rational mind wants to make sense of things. So I'm not going to so much indulge so much into my emotional bag, and discuss things through that lens. That's just me, because I personally don't feel comfortable with that. You can do so, like, if you want, it's no problem. But like I said, like, she, you know, of her feelings, you know, and her trying to explain this, and I'm trying to get it. Like, it's like, from my understanding, for her and for many feminists, this control aspect, they actually feel like they're being controlled. And that's what it is. They feel like they're being controlled by a man, and they don't like that. So they go against the grain every time. And it's like, I don't get why cooperation is a bad thing. Like, why is it that you cannot cooperate with someone? And it's like, no, I can cooperate. If you can, then why are you so willing to not bend? It's like, you don't want to be a part of the team. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you literally have this mentality of, it's in my way or the highway, and I don't have to settle for nobody. I don't want to settle. And that's another thing. I get tired of that word settling, because they use it in such a derogatory term, where it's like, I don't have to settle for this, settle for that. And it's just like, Settling just means you honestly decided. You made a decision. Anytime you make a decision to lock in on something, even if it's something that you want, you still settle for it. But y'all use settling as a term for it could be better, but I guess so. Like, you're always gonna always look for something better. It's like you'll never be satisfied. And that feeling in itself, it's like, who can appease to that? It's like basically saying the world is not enough for you. You know? But that's just an expression. I get what they say when they mean, like, for the most part, one of them says, you know, I want something better. It just want growth. You can be any individual as long as you are growing. You know, that potential that women talk about. As long as you're growing, you're fine. You know what I'm saying? Like, as long as you're growing in some way, whether it's mentally, physically, spiritually, financially, in whatever area you choose to grow in, as long as you continue to grow and be inspiring to her, you're fine as a man. You know what I'm saying? Know who you are, be confident, live by something. Don't, and this is for men I'm speaking to. Live for something, have a code. Don't let a woman ever disrespect you. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it is that your code is, don't ever break those rules. You know what I'm saying? The moment she steps out of line, you know, she got to go. I'm just being for real. There's no redemption for that, because just like any other man, any person in life, you don't let them just run over top of you and, you know, dictate how you should be. This is why you have to have confidence in knowing who you are before you let anyone in your life. This is why you need to love yourself before you try to love someone else as a man. And that's all I wanted to say. As far as all that, this is all I wanted to conclude with. All right, for women who have this mentality with the feminist thing, you know, we partners and all that stuff. Good luck in all your endeavors. I hope you can go as far as you guys can go in your relationship. This is not a jab or anything like that. I'm not trying to be facetious or mean or anything of that nature. It's just like, really, good luck with your journey. Go as far as you can in your relationship. Because at the end of the day, life is a decision-making process. If that's what you decide to do it thy will. But for those who really want a more successful marriage, in my opinion, and not just some partnership, I mean like a legit marriage between husband and wife, I would suggest that men take up the mantle, be confident, love and protect your family, be accountable for your family. You know what I'm saying? There's a reason why, well, some families, because even in my family it's not this way. For some families, that woman's going to carry your name. There's a reason why that is, okay? Because at the end of the day, you're accountable for her. You're accountable for your kids. You're accountable for all the decisions that are being made at the end of the day. All the weights and burdens fall on you. You know what I'm saying? Your wife can be the face of the company, but at the end of the day, you're still going to run things in the background. Like I said, make the woman feel comfortable. You know, tell her, take a seat, sip some champagne. Do what it is you gotta do. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you want to do what you want to do. Just don't break my rules. And as long as you're on board and you want to go in the direction I'm going in life, it's all good. You know what I mean? But some women, again, they see that as and again, this, I say nothing about controlling. Men need to lead. All right? Men need to lead their families, period. And for some of the women that feel like they need to lead, all right, you say you want to lead in some areas, not all areas. The truth is this: you have a place, you have things that you're going to do, and a man's going to allow you to do it without even having to be said. You're just going to do what you do naturally. But this ego that you may have because something could be suggested towards you. And the thing about it is, I tell you right now, this is funny as hell. I'm so serious when I say this shit. I've been married for 7 years so far. Been with her for 10. Not once have I ever told my wife to do this or do that. But you know what has been happening? My wife has always been telling me what to do in terms of this. Oh, can you take care of that? Can you do this? You know how many favors a man has to go through? And trust me, I think some guys know exactly what I'm talking about. Women got favors for days, bro. But we do what we must. Like right now, my wife is away, and it feels good because I ain't got to worry about hearing her mouth sometimes. Sorry, baby, you're gonna hear this, but oof, it's a good break because I don't have to be tasked to do certain things throughout the day. Did you make sure this get done? Can you get that done? Da, 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 da. Just it's a lot of that. Now, do I think that's controlling? In some ways, I can see how it can be controlling from because you always ask for something. But you know what? It's almost like a child that asks, "Daddy, can I have this? Daddy, can I get that? Daddy, can you do this?" And it's like, so it's not like a see when a child does it, is the child controlling? No, he's just asking, "Can you do something? Can you do this? Can you do that?" And that's how I'm going to take this. You know what I'm saying? My wife is not controlling. She just has a lot of things that she requires, and I'm willing to do those things for her. They're nothing big or nothing major. It's nothing life changing. It doesn't take me off my uh, trajectory. It doesn't take me off my trajectory at all. I'm still going in my direction. So at the end of the day, and she's not disrespectful. So at the end of the day, it's all good. It works. But it's like I said, in my relationship, I can't talk about the men. But even for most men, I don't think other guys even are asking their wives 1,000 different favors out the day. It usually don't happen like that in relationships I've seen anyway. Men ain't going out to the women saying do this, do that, and have this done and do this. Look, I never had my wife. Well, I can't say never, because I did ask for my birthday, but I don't ask my woman to cook for me. I don't ask her to do this or that for me. I don't ask my wife to do shit. To tell you the truth, I just let her fill in her place naturally. She's gonna do what she's gonna do. I don't have to tell her what to do. I lead by example. Everything I do is I lead by example in my relationship. Like I said, and that's what men need to do. Lead by example. Let her fall into her natural place, and you do your thing just by leading by example. She will fall into her place of comfort in the relationship. There won't be this whole I am this, I am that, I'm this boss chick shit going on in your relationship. You know what I'm saying? That's all I gotta say. This thing wasn't supposed to be this long. I'm definitely gonna edit this shit. Alright. Peace and love, guys. Take care. I'm out.